Hey guys, Major Dodo here with the third video in our Survivor Assembly series. This time we're doing Survivor number C, letter C, Survivor C. It's 5 AM. Give me a break. It's about the only time we can record at the moment because it's quite warm during the day and the house is noisy. So until we get the studio set up, it is what it is. Now, start off by cutting out the pieces. As with the other survivors, you can see that I've marked the sprue with some texture. This is more for my own sake, just so I can quickly snip the pieces out off the sprue during recording and don't waste a lot of time kind of squinting and hunting. I can do all that off screen. That may also help you at home, I guess. If you're watching, you can see where the pieces are. Now this is the most complex of the survivors, but it shouldn't be too hard. Now of course, if you do run into even more trouble, there is the official assembly guide on the website. I'm going to go back and add them to all of the videos, I think, just in case. Now, it's kind of funny. I didn't think her hair was this. I did not remember her hair being this curly. Which sounds weird because there's only one version of her, but there's not. There's several versions of the same kind of four survivors. They're a common character throughout all the promotional ones, like the Roll Survivors and the Halloween Survivors and things like that. And yeah, so this survivor's name is Lucy. That is the, well, I was going to say semi-official, but it's the official name for her. She is, from all the artwork, kind of the more fun-loving one, I guess. It's like Zachary's the cross-dressing one, Alistair's the playboy, pretty boy, Lucy's the fun one, and then Ezra, which is the other female survivor, is the serious one, I think. That's just layman guessing, layman's terms, I guess. So I'm just cleaning off all of our sprue cut marks, making sure the surfaces are nice and smooth and neat, ready to go together. Now, of course, to do this, I am using a very sharp hobby blade, just a cheap one. You don't need a super expensive one as long as it's got a decent blade and it's kept quite sharp. And in this case, sharp is, I guess sharp can, when I say sharp, it can be a little bit misleading because the blade will still be sharp. Here it's a scalpel blade, but it sharp enough is another matter all entirely. It'll get quite blunt fairly fast, depending on the brand you've gone with. Where if you're really struggling to cut through the plastic, then you need to switch knife blades, and there's less chance of injuring yourself because you won't be applying as much pressure, so there's less chance of it just going awry. Now, of course, looking for mold lines as well. But yeah. So, but even then, even if it's not sharp enough to do plastic, it's plenty sharp enough to do damage if you're not careful with disposing them. I'm almost at the point where I was considering getting a sharps container, like you see at like public toilets and stuff, and having that sitting there on my desk to dispose of the knife blades. I think the last bunch ended up like wrapping up in masking tape and throwing in the rubbish bin normally, so there was no chance of someone accidentally cutting themselves on it. Alright. Scratch my mustache. Right, so this goes like that. Piece number one. these two pieces. Just want to fit them smoothly. The join will be the skirt at the back, so dry fit always. Wipe off the excess glue off the brush. Dab a little bit in. Just dab it in. Just dab it in. As I said before, it's 5 AM. Let me think I'm funny. Cool. That one's done. And then... oh God, that's right. Remember now. Awkward leg pose was awkward. It was like... I think she's like got her leg, she's like bending over. Where's your back bit? Your thing. You go like, oh that's right, so the skirt goes around the back. So skirt first, that might have been a plan. I did look at the official guide again just to refresh my memory, but it was kind of a glance. Because who reads instructions, right? It's not like you need them to assemble complex kits. So, skirt, like so. Some plastic glue, being a little bit more liberal this time, but not too much. Now, if you do end up with too much, you can use a little piece of tissue. It is usually water enough that your tissue will just absorb it, whereas if you try and rub it away with your finger, you're more likely to smear it away, whereas the tissue will soak it up like water. Just a handy hint. Top tip of the day. And then matching the grooves. Like so. I will probably zoom in for this, I think. Yep, we'll zoom in for this. So you guys can see the exact kind of angle that the piece is going to go in. Excuse the noisy chair. Noisy chair is noisy. Not much I can do about it. Alright, so it is going to sit in rather like this. So, plastic glue. In the join. And then, because I was a little bit too liberal, just carefully touch the tissue to the join and it will absorb like water. I was just tightening up that skirt. I saw a small gap. Cool. That looks like shite. Get it perfectly lined up and drop it. 10 out of 10. Luckily it hasn't come unaligned. Oh god, I have the worst fingers for this. I have the fine motor skills of an elephant. Now, how do you go together? Gotta remember now. Straight up and down? Pretty sure it's straight up and down. Might help if I hold it on camera though. Straight up and down like that, I'm gonna guess. So, a little bit of plastic glue again. In this case, a lot. There we go. Just press it in gently but firmly. And she's ready for her base, which we'll grab from the stack of bases. So just applying some glue to her feet like so. There's not a huge amount of surface contact. Funnily enough, this is one of those cases where I'd almost would have preferred having the tabs that like easy build miniatures have, just because then the feet are sculpted with something more to attach to when you slot the base in. Oh, come on. So there's another trick here you can do. Get something, in this case I use one of these, and just hold it like that. And this will keep it straight while it dries. So, that's all there is to it. This is probably the worst it's going to get out of doing the survivors. So, if you can handle this, you can handle any of them. Until you get to the armor sprues. The armor sprues are they're a new realm of fiddly. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you find this useful. I'll put the links in the description. If you've enjoyed the clip, click subscribe, even with my horrible stuttering sales pitch. Anyway guys, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.